Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel, and today we're back with Big City Greens. I'm reviewing Big City Greens Season 3 Episode 11A. This is the first half as a clip, and this one's called Countryside, and the second half is called Junk Mountain. That's the second half. It doesn't have a clip. So yeah, so we're back with Big City Greens, and my plan for right now is to do episode 11 today. Do excuse me, do episode 12 on Saturday, and then Sunday I'll do my Thor: Love and Thunder movie review. I was planning to do that earlier, but I couldn't, so I'm gonna do that Sunday. So, without any further ado, let's get started. So, we basically start with Cricket and Remy. They're reminiscing about Big City, and by the way, Remy is staying with Cricket, so they're sharing the same room. Like, Remy doesn't have like a separate room or anything. So okay. And so they're basically talking about, they're just talking about random stuff, which is really funny. It's like, Cricket's like, Remy, remember we were playing, what was it, Critter Ball in the cafe, and Glory got mad at us, and we released the animals and stuff like that? It's like, yeah, and do you remember the cows everywhere? It's like, yeah, and everyone was freaking out, and that was really funny. And even Remy mentioned, like, oh, remember we went to an aquarium? I was like, they went to an aquarium? I would like to see that episode. But when you get invested with a show, you have to understand that these characters do get sort of development, not full blown development. You need to show most of it on screen, but sometimes you get pieces of it that's off screen that's not too important. So it's fine that we didn't get to see the what would be like an aquarium episode. That'd be cool if we would see it, but it's not like required. So like, oh, Remy and Cricket and probably some other kids went to the aquarium, and they probably had lots of fun and they made a new adventure. Like, they didn't have to show it. So like, oh, that's pretty cool context. Oh, they went to the aquarium. Pretty cool. I wonder what type of fish that you saw. Anyway, so, and Remy's basically kind of like, well, I guess all the fun's over. I'm with Craig. I'm like, huh? Wait, what? Show's over? And Craig's like, we talking about the fun just begun. Because Remy's basic mentality was basically like, the Greens are basically gonna be working on the farm, right? Like, they're basically gonna be doing their job, and Remy's gonna not research them, but basically kind of explore around the country and basically write things down, and then send them to his parents or something. I don't. He didn't really explain the study abroad program too much. He just says that I'm gonna be researching, like a study abroad program, and that's it. He didn't bring like a teacher with him or anything, like to keep an eye on him, like make sure you do your work or anything. So is he going to send him to his parents? Is Vasquez going to come? I don't think we ever really discussed that. Anyway, that might come up in like a later episode, maybe. Let's see. What comes next? All right. So Remy's like, I guess all the fun's over, and Cricket's like, "What are you talking about? Like, we're the country. There's everlasting fun. Like, oh, are you sure? Like, isn't the country kind of lame to say? Are you kidding me? Like, I was just planning on doing work. Like, oh, forget your work for now. Come on, I'm gonna show you to have fun. Is it? Okay? I'm in. I like this. Remy just takes off his pajamas. He already has his regular clothes on, and he even kicked up his glasses, and they perfectly went on his head. I mean, not on his head, on his face. And even Crick's like, did you wear your pajamas over your normal clothes? He's like, yep. And then Cricket did the same thing. He's wearing his overalls. He's like, see, this is why we're best buds. I love that. And Cricket's like, oh man, I think we're kind of talking too loud. They were about to leave the room. I think we're kind of talking too loud. What do you mean? Oh, Tilly's sleeping. And he's like, oh my goodness. And then they kind of leave. And then you just see Tilly wide-eyed open. He's like, she's talking to herself. Like, nope, Tilly's just been awake this whole time. And oh my goodness. And we basically have an A plot and B plot. We have an A plot with Cricket, Remy, and Bill, and we have a B plot with Tilly and Nancy. And basically, we have like, Tilly's gonna look for like a new space to live because noisy boys. Like she needs to get out of here. And and basically we have Cricket and Remy, and they're eating breakfast, and Nancy's like, "Oh my goodness, Cricket, use the spoon, please." And Cricket's like he's eating his breakfast. And then Nancy's helping Bill unpack. That's pretty cool. It's like Nancy's kind of like, Bill, I was kind of expecting more. It's like, well, I'm simple. This is only one box. I'm a simple man, Nancy. Okay, sure, Bill. And they hear something in his wardrobe, and they open it. It's like, Tilly, what are you doing here? It's, oh, Papa, I thought I would come live with you. Is we mean? Well, I love Cricket and Remy, but they were so noisy last night. I needed to get out of there, so I thought I could come live with you. And so Papa, like, just in case, like, we need to be near each other, and maybe if you have a bad dream, I can yodel you to sleep. And Bill's like, oh, that's so sweet. And then Tilly's like, yodeling is very badly, very weirdly, and Bill's like, how about, you know what, Tilly? I know you always, when we were at the farm originally, you and Cricket always shared the space, but you are older now, and you couldn't do it before in Grandma's place, Bill's mom's place, but Tilly's grandma's place, because they only had so many rooms basically. But this farmhouse, has more space, and since you and Cricket are older now, you can have your own space. And then Tilly's kind of like, I don't want to be inconvenienced. I'll find like a different space, and she just goes off somewhere else. And then Nancy's kind of like, I don't know about that. And like, and Nancy's like, I'm gonna go make sure Tilly's okay. Like I'm gonna keep an eye on her. He said, oh, okay, Nancy. And then he hears a doorbell. He's, oh, I wonder who's that. And we have good old Joe. He's back, and that actually makes sense since he is in the country, and it makes sense that we aren't gonna. It makes sense that we weren't gonna see him until like season 4. Like this part makes sense where it's early in the second half of season 3, because remember, spoilers for what was the episode called? It was in season 2. It was a convention place, and where good old Joe says like, "Oh, Bill, I really wanted to visit you to make sure you and your family were alright moving to the city. But when I started to use the tractor, like you plowed the fields. You know how it is. Like, and I explained it like a couple episodes before. Like when you start something with farming, it's a thing after a thing after a thing, and you got to take care of your family. You got to take care of yourself, and you got to go to bed. You got to wake up early in the morning. It's a whole thing. And but since Bill's in the country and Joe's in the country, and it's like a day trip to big city, it makes sense that Joe can easily come to Bill's farmhouse to greet him back to the country. So this actually makes sense. And but if they would have done something where it's like, Joe couldn't come until season 4 because of farm work, well, Bill could have visited Joe, or Joe could have maybe found some time to come visit Bill, even with the long farm work, because they're both in the farm. It's not, you have to plan a day trip to go into the city. No, it's only like what, like almost like 20 minutes maybe. I don't know how far Joe's farmhouse is. I don't know, but basically we have good old Joe, and I'm gonna play this right here. Did I play it? Oh,
Joe! Good old Bill. Heard you moved back to the country, so I thought I'd bring you a welcome gift. Oh boy, worms!
sorry, I don't want to play too much. But I like good old Joe's voice. Like, you can just like, he's a good old friend. He's like, Bill, I heard that you and your family come back to the country, so I wanted to bring you a welcome present. It's worms. And Bill's like, I can use this for composting or bait for worms for fishing. Oh, good old Joe. Good old Bill. Good old Joe. Good old Bill. Oh, I love it. Then it kind of gets ruined. Okay, not ruined. I just... Remy with the toast in his mouth. I'm not a huge fan of anime, and like anime references. So I always kind of think of it deeply. Like in Owl House, it was like a Dragon Ball Z reference, like early season one. So I was kind of thinking, is this necessary? Is this not necessary? Like, do I like it? Do I not like it? Is it too much? Is it not too much? And I don't know. I just, but even Cricket mentions like, Remy, get that toast out of your mouth. Come on, we gotta go. So even Cricket kind of mentions like it's kind of not necessary. So I'm kind of debating. Like, should I take a point off? Am I being a little bit too nitpicky? I think I might be. I don't know. I'll decide it at the end, but I kind of don't want to see this anymore. Yeah. Because why is Remy just having the toast in like in one hand? You have two hands. You can hold it with one, or just put it in a Ziploc baggie and just put it in your pocket. The like, or maybe having your mouth and like and eat it while you're running. And quick say, Remy, to finish up and then go. But no, it's just dangling from his mouth. No, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe. Um. Pretty cool view from the house. And it's like, here's the fun, Remy. He's like, oh, I like the detail of like there's still some pieces of crumbs of the toast on his mouth. I like that detail. But Cricket and we have like a view of the farm, of like the outskirts, and Remy's like, where's the fun? I don't see it. And like, are we gonna rent a troop of acrobats or something? Are we gonna rent a mobile arcade? No, silly. This is the fun because anything can be fun. And Ram's like, oh, I see it. Like, actually, no, I don't see it. Because you have to look harder. And Cricket goes to the musical number. I like it. And he's like, oh, in the country we embrace. Like, oh, like anything can be fun. And they're riding the sheep. And Remy's obviously skeptical. Like, anything, Cricket? Like, yes, anything. And the day is like, oh, we can ride this wagon as a dragon. And like, do like a hay jump, and they land in this I don't know what it's called. This what's this called? This feeding bed of water. I'm just gonna call it because I don't know the name, because this isn't just used for water. Sometimes it can be used for like food and stuff, for like the animals and stuff, for like pigs and cows, I think. Not cows, but pigs, I think. So like, I'm not sure what to call this, but like, and Cricket's singing more like, oh, ain't it can be fun, and then Remy's like, oh, even this pig is like, yeah, do chicken. Cricket slaps the pig. But the reason why I'm not taking a point off is because they get comeuppance, because the pig obviously knocks off Remy into the mud. So like, yeah, you did a bad thing. You get mud. And the Remy's like, anything can be fun. And I like how, since Cricket's explained that anything can be fun, Cricket's kind of giving Remy the task, like, I'm gonna get like an object or a thing, and you had to take it and make something fun from it. Like, see what you learn, Remy. And it's like, oh, the sap from the tree, the sap from a tree, and like, I'll just stick to the wall with glee. Oh, this hot chili pepper. Like, oh, we'll test our, I forgot the rhyme. But our test our endurance to heat. Oh, these beets. Oh, I'll twist them and that'll be pretty neat. Oh, the side mean toad. Oh, we can put some tiny clothes. That was awesome. And so since good old Joe is leaving, Cricket's like, oh, these worms from good old Joe. And then like, oh, Remy's like, I'll just throw them and see where they'll go. And Remy, I'm gonna take a point off because Remy wasn't thinking. Look at Cricket's face. oh, that's just hysterical. Remy's like, anything can be fun. And Bill's like, what in the what? And then I like how Cricket's just smiling, and Remy's like, oh my gosh, I'm dead. Cricket, I just threw worms at a parental adult figure. That's not fun. And Cricket's like, no, Remy, have you learned anything today? Anything can be fun. And then Bill's like, hey, but boys, like, well, what happened? He's not even like mad. He's just kind of like, what the heck happened? And Cricket's like, hey, we'll watch this. Bill's obviously watching, and Bill went from confused to like, what happened to like, okay, Cricket, I see what you're doing. Stop. And oh my goodness, that's so awful when his eyes went in his mouth. Oh, ew. And I want to play this right here.
Cricket!
Okay, Remy, time for the fun part. Run!
He's like, time for the fun part, Remy. Run! That's just hilarious. It reminds me of an episode of Amphibia, where and it's like time for the next part, for the next phase. Sprig, what is it? Run! Because they're trying to get away from Hot Pop because Hot Pop was being boring with something. What was it? Oh, it was when they first got on the road. It was like early season 2. So that was pretty funny. Because Spring's like, this was your plan, Anne? It's kind of like this with Remy's like, Cricket, this is your plan running? And instead of with Sprig in that episode, he's like, Anne, you're a genius. Remy's like, Cricket, what in the heck are you doing? Pretty cool parallels. They compare and contrast. Anyway, but before we get to more Cricket, Remy, and Bill with this, we get to Tilly and Nancy, where Nancy's obviously gonna, hey y'all, hey chickens, I'm gonna feed you. It's feeding time. And tells her, oh, it's feeding time. Like Shug, like that's her like nickname for her. Shug, like, what are you doing, sweetie? And say, oh, I'm gonna live with the chickens. And then say, oh, Tilly, like, no, I don't want you living here. These are unpredictable animals. And there's like a hen, just another hen, like, jeez. And then they tell us like, oh, I'm sure it'll be fine. It's like, and they started attacking because again they just do things out of nowhere. And so tell them, oh, okay, Mama, I'm coming. And these, I don't need the gossip of these hens. And it's like, and like, you know, figuratively and literally, I'm walking around eggshells here. And then she accidentally steps on one of the eggs. I bet that just hurt Tilly's soul because how she just deeply cares about animals. So she's like, run. And you just get out of there. And, there was like a full grown hen in a chick. They were kind of doing what do you call it, they're doing that with their feet with the talons. I'm not sure that means like get lost in hen talk. I don't know, animal talk. I'm not sure, but they did that. Like the mama hen and the chick hen, they were kind of doing that. I don't know. Anyway. All right, so it's like, oh, don't worry, Mama, I'll find a new place to live. And Nancy's like, kind of like, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep more of an eye on her because Tilly, Nancy went like a little break from keeping an eye on Tilly to like, feed the chickens, and turns out Tilly's with the chickens because Nancy needs to get the chicken feed. So we get back to Cricket, Remy, and Bill. Bill's chasing after them, and Remy's like, Cricket, how is this fun? Like, just follow me. They go inside this corn field, a yield of corn, whole yield. A field of yield of corn, I guess you could say. And Bill's trying to get out, get them. And it's like, Remy's like, Cricket, we should turn ourselves in. He's like, no, because Bill's like, boys, you did something bad. I'm mad about it. So you're in trouble. But if you turn yourselves in, I promise I'll show leniency. Oh, that's just awesome. And then Cricket's like, oh my goodness, Cricket doesn't give up. He just doubles down and he just grabs this I don't know, a stick of corn and just it slaps Bill, and Bill is just mad beyond ever. And then Cricket just run. Oh my goodness. And he's like, Cricket. We get back to the bee pub with Tilly and Nancy. And Tilly's, so like, she tried Papa's wardrobe. It was too stuffy. The chicken coop. You had too much drama with the hens, and she could accidentally step on one of their babies with the eggs and stuff, the eggshells. Now she's trying to live with Nancy, but she's like living in the cabinet again, where she's like, oh, but besides with the dripping water on my pillow, and the smell of the intoxicating chemicals, I'm totally fine. Is he? I like a Nancy's playing like, really, Tilly? And she turns on the garbage disposal, and she's like, she's like shaking the cabinet because that's what happens, and she's like, okay, I guess this isn't for me. And then, oh man, where am I gonna live? And then Nancy turns off the garbage disposal, like, hey, Till, let me show you something. I think I have a great place for you. And she's like, oh, okay, Mama, because Tilly's running out of options. So, that's a nice mother-daughter feeling. That's nice. We get back to the rambunctious boys and Bill chasing after them, and they get to the actual barn, like the barn of the farmhouse. And they go up, they lock the trap door, and he's like, oh, it's in that trap door. They went up the ladder, and Cricket put up the ladder so Bill can't get them. It's like, see, Remy, isn't this fun? But Remy's like, no, I'm sweating, I'm out of breath, my clothes are tight around me. How is this fun? It's like, don't you get it, Remy? This is fun. I just love the adrenaline pumping through my veins. That's how Cricket is. I love it. I love it. Oh my goodness. So when Cricket's being mischievous was fun like this, like you could have a good time, like how it pumps through your veins. I love it when Cricket does something mischievous and it's just sometimes it just doesn't. It feels unnecessary. Like what was it? Big Trouble. What was that the name of it? Where Tilly went bad. Cricket kind of doing like trouble at the end. It just doesn't really make any sense. I'm just Cricket like no. Ugh. But this just seems tons of fun. I love it. Maybe because Crick is more of his element in the country. Maybe that's what makes it more fun. Maybe who knows? But he's like, oh, don't worry, Dad won't get us here. And Crick builds through the through the rapster, and he just like Cricket, and he builds it, and he's like, oh, Dad, don't hurt me, please. Yeah, I'm just a coward of a boy. He's oh yeah, Cricket, now you want forgiveness, okay? And he's like, where's and Cricket's like, Pop, like Dad. I was just trying to show Remy how to have a good time in the country. He thought he was having a boring time. I was just trying to entertain him. Isn't that like a good thing? If I was Bill, I'd say like, yeah, that's entertaining. But Cricket, you went too far. You threw worms at your papa and you smacked me with a yield of corn. You're in trouble. There's no way around that. You knew what you were doing. With Remy, even Bill didn't really know like what was going on, like that part when Remy threw it. Remy didn't really know what was going. Remy didn't know who he was throwing the worms at. So like Remy's kind of off the hook, but now Remy's in trouble because Cricket. Bill's like, where is Remy, Cricket? And Cricket, oh yeah, where is Remy? Hopefully thinking of a plan. And Remy's like, how am I supposed to help Cricket? I don't want to get in trouble, but. And it can be fun. He's like, okay, that's it, boy. No more games, no more fun. You're in trouble. He's like, oh man. And then we have Remy, the Tarzan George of the Jungle Remy, on the rope swing, and he just accidentally knocks that Bill accidentally, and then grabs Cricket and they go down to the bottom floor of the raptors, and they're outside the barn. And then Remy's like, oh my goodness, Cricket, you were right. The adrenaline pumping through your veins, and it can be fun. You were right. And Cricket's like, I love this. This is probably my favorite part of the episode. Or maybe second favorite. It's probably the first, my top favorite probably coming up. But Cricket's like, oh my goodness. Cricket just looked and you just see Bill is just furious. And then Cricket's like, and it can be fun. And he accidentally smacks Bill's belly, stomach. And then he's like, oh my goodness. And Bill describes Cricket and Remy by like shirts. He's like, you boys are grounded. And he's like, oh, so much for anything can be fun. He's like, to your room. And then Cricket's like, finally comes to terms what Remy was talking about. You guess you're right, Remy. Not everything can be fun. You boys have to be punished. That's the way it is. But you guys were hysterical, so Oh, but even Cricket mentioned to Bill earlier in the episode, like, oh, this is Remy's first time like in the country. Just wanted to show him a good time. So that was like another piece of dialogue. We get back to the B pub with Tilly and Nancy, and Nancy showed Tilly's new room, and I just love the look of it. I wish I could show it, but I can't. But he said like, oh, isn't this great, Tilly? And I like Tilly's kind of grabbing onto her shirt or her gown, her pajamas, And she's like, oh yeah, I guess it looks kind of nice. And Nancy obviously sees like, okay, something's kind of bothering my daughter. And say, hey, Chuck, like, what's going on? You know, can tell me. And he's like, oh, Mama, I really appreciate this. I do. And I know I'm going to get away from the noisy boys next door and everything. But I always had a roommate. I never lived by myself before. Well, obviously, Tilly is like 1 or 2 years older than Cricket, but she was like a baby, so she probably like hasn't even remembered. And she and probably the nursery was probably in Bill and Nancy's room. So she, even as a baby, she probably didn't even have like a nursery by herself. She was probably with Bill and Nancy, or her mom and dad. So yeah, so Tilly's never been by herself. I'm supposing. And she said, I always wanted a roommate. That's why I tried to sleep with you or with Papa or the chickens. But the reason why I was sleeping in the cabins is because, like, for one, I'm telling you, I'm weird like that. But also, it's because I didn't want to seem like an inconvenience to you guys. Like, I didn't want to hoard in on your space. And then it's like, oh, hey, like, Tilly, you would never be an inconvenience for yourself. But I know, I know this seems kind of scary, sleeping by yourself for the first time in your own room. But I want to tell you the good things about it. Like, it comes with independence, your own space, privacy, and until it's kind of like, oh yeah, that's true. Like I can finally dance like no one's watching, and I can yodel myself to sleep. I guess I practice my yodeling, but yeah, it needs work, Tilly. No offense. And Nancy's like, yeah. And then Tilly's kind of getting the mojo, and she kind of kicks Nancy, her mom out. Like, okay, Mama, bye. And he's like, okay, bye, Tilly. We get back to the A plot where Cricket and Remy are grounded, and there's like a sign on the window that says like no Cricket, like Cricket may not exit or something, and he's trying to escape, and he's like, oh man. And after everything, Remy was kind of thinking like, yeah, like it kind of seems like a bummer now, but and how maybe not everything can be fun, but maybe it can. Maybe we can even make grounding fun because I'm with my best friend. Like, and we made sap fun. We made riding a pig fun. We even made running from your dad fun. Even though we did something wrong, we had to be punished, but we still had a blast, right? He said, yeah. And hey, I think we can make grounding fun. And they started having a pillow fight. And we have Tilly in the outside in the hallway. She's just listening to Cricket and Remy. She's like, yep, I made the right choice. And we see in the door, there's like a sign that says Tilly's room, and she's setting up her bed. She's about to go to sleep, and she's like, "Oh hey, where's Saxon?" If you watch my episode titles and descriptions, I won't spoil anything. But it sounded with Saxon, I was kind of thinking, it was kind of weird, like why he would be kind of important in an episode. But now we have here where Tilly's kind of like, hey, where's Saxon? Now I'm kind of thinking, yeah, Saxon is on your bed, is on your nightstand, or on your shelf, or or anything. Like, where is he? And Tilly's like, oh, he's probably in another box. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know. And Tilly just goes to sleep, and we have Tilly's like, night everyone, and we have Cricket and Remy just having a big old pillow fight, and Bill's like, boys, grounding is not supposed to be fun. Like, and they're like, everything can be fun. And they're like, he's like, no. He's like, whatever, I go to bed. Oh, okay. Overall, fantastic episode. 90%. There was just only 2 things that I just didn't like about the episode. But overall, 90% fantastic, solid A. What a fantastic way to come back to Big City Green Season 3. Fantastic. And I would have to say, even though this is minor, like the first thing would be like Remy with the toast in his mouth. Again, I know, really minor, but I still did. I'm not over it. I'm over it. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would have to say would be, don't tell me I forgot. Sorry about that. I might make it 95 because I'm actually thinking about like when I watched the episode recently today. was kind of thinking, why did it make it 90%? I think the other one is that I was kind of where I was kind of thinking that Bill was saying like, no, not everything can be fun. Like grounding is not supposed to be fun because Cricket and Remy need to pay their dues by being grounded. And grounding is supposed to be a thing where you just, I don't want to say serve your sentence or anything. I don't want to be too dramatic, but like you're just basically supposed to be like waited out, like you pass the time, but it's not supposed to be like a joyous, fun thing. So when I was watching the episode, I was kind of half and half, where I was kind of thinking it's not really supposed to be fun, but the whole point of the episode is that everything can be fun, and the fact that they're with each other to keep each other company. But like even Bill, the episode's kind of like, you know what, forget it. So I'm kind of thinking, am I being a little too nitpicky about the whole thing about them being grounded and they're supposed to like quote unquote pay their dues and like not supposed to be having fun, but they're kids, so they're they would have like a way to make it fun, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 95%. A plus. I'm changing it. A plus. It went up from solid A to A plus 95%. So fantastic. Not perfect. So not over the toasting. And you're probably thinking in the comments like, if you're gonna change the whole grounding thing point, like why not change the toast? Because I'm kind of being more reluctant with the thing. Where kind of in crossroads with the toast. I'm more. It was just an unnecessary anime reference. It just didn't need to be there. So that's really the only nitpick really I have. So yeah, fantastic way to come back to Big City Greens. So yeah, everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to share the video, and I'll see you guys. Yeah, I'll see you guys there today for the second half of episode 11, and it's called Junk Mountain. And I'll see you guys there today for that. Okay. Bye. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. I forgot. Wait, I'm sorry. Everyone, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, give me a big thumbs up, leave a comment down below. Don't forget to check out my mini reviews and my community posts. And I'll see you guys later today for the second half of episode 11 of Big City Green Season 3 called Junk Mountain. Okay, there you go. Alright, see you later today for that. Bye.